Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about that Disney investor call yesterday afternoon. We didn't do a video on it last night because it was really boring.
It was really, really boring. It was like you'd rather like your teeth drilled than listen to this investor call.
Well, most people would rather get their teeth drilled than listen to Disney news, I think. But it was. I mean, as far as Disney investor calls go, there were like no major announcements. It was a lot of like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that.
It was all stuff we already knew.
Yeah.
Except for a couple little things. It was all stuff that they've already announced. It was already going to be done. It was like very little new stuff. I thought they'd get grilled harder than they did with the questions. And then that wasn't even entertaining.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the big takeaway for theme park fans is that they want to turbocharge their growth. They're going turbo, guys. They're going turbo. Don't go turbo. Bob, don't go turbo.
We don't know how that goes.
But yeah, so there's that. And I mean, but they even said like they have like a 10-year plan and you're not going to see the results of any of their turbo growth until the end of the 10 years. So basically at that point, Epic Universe is going to be out for years.
Epic Universe is going to open in a couple of years.
Yeah. And I don't think Disney knows what they're going to do. I think they're talking possibilities. I think it depends on the amount of money that they have to work with. And they had all these, blue sky ideas, what's on the other side of Thunder Mountain and what are we going to do in Animal Kingdom and da-da-da. But they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to invest heavily in the theme parks because Universal's coming for them big time. So let's talk about all this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to shopclownfish.com, please, and back Shadow Binders Volume 3 hardcover graphic novel. Geeky working very hard to get other Shadow Binders, Crimson Wren, and now previously on Clownfish TV books out the door.
I am.
She's trying real hard, guys.
I was doing that right before we did the video.
Yeah, she was. I heard the tape going. I heard the tape rolls.
We're down for like 5 minutes. I'm out in the other room taping up boxes.
Rip. Yeah. So, please back this. Thank you so much to those of you who did back it, and that's not going to ship until next summer, though. Just so you know. So let's talk about that earnings call, some of the takeaways, and then we'll talk about them turbocharging their growth.
Well, I do want to point out that their stock is up to right now. It's like over $90.
Yeah, the stock definitely went up.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's $89.99, but it was $90 earlier, so it went up significantly.
It was an interesting call because there were no.
It was not interesting.
It was interesting the fact that it wasn't interesting. There were no hardball questions. There were no big announcements. It was very kind of a subdued affair.
It felt like it was like the softball to try to look, guys. If you don't ask hard questions, our stock will go up.
That's exactly
kind of thing,
And I think they were trying to keep Nelson Peltz at bay, and I don't know if anything can do that at this point, but. It kind of sort of sounded like they have a plan. Most of the plan was, from my understanding, is we're going to spend more money on the theme parks to compete there. We're going to spend less money on subpar content. We're going to do fewer Hollywood projects, but they're going to be higher quality projects. We're not going to do more Willow.
Oh yeah, and also we're going to push the ad supported tier for Disney Plus because we're making money that way.
Yeah, and as far as the strike's concerned, that's not really good news for the WGA and SAG because they just signed these new deals and Disney's like, yeah, we're going to cut way back on our content.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to produce
$2 billion
as much.
They're cutting from content creation.
Yeah. So this is the takeaway according to NPR. They said streaming. Disney's still not profitable, but losing less.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did take a lot of write-offs too. Look at you, Willow. They said they lost just $387 million. I wish I had $387 million to lose.
It looks great when you compare it to $1.5 billion last year.
Yeah,
at the same time.
But look at this guy, Brandon Katz, this analyst. He said, who would have thought in any sort of business we'd be celebrating a loss of just $387 million?
I like this place. They're like saying it like it is. Yeah. And they did go up 7 million subscribers this quarter. However, they did not count Hotstar because Hotstar did decline another 7%, and they're trying to sell it off.
Yeah. So theme parks, resorts, and cruises. So it's a major profit driver. Now, there were reports of the summer that the attendance was way down in the parks, and we've seen a lot of sales, which tells me that the bookings aren't quite where Disney wants them.
They're making more money because they're nickel and diming people, which we know.
Yes. A 13% increase in revenue to $8.16 billion, with growth at almost all of its international and domestic sites.
Well, when they sit there and say, oh, they only raised it 50 cents, it doesn't really matter. Clearly, it does. So
50 cents adds up. 3 cents adds up. Pennies add up. Look at Superman 3, Richard Pryor. He was stealing pennies.
I try not to remember Superman 3.
There was a robot, and it wasn't very
That
good.
thing freaked me out as a child.
It wasn't very...
It was terrifying.
But he was just stealing pennies. Nobody had noticed, and he wound up rich, right? The only site that has not done well is Walt Disney World in Florida.
The shocker.
The company said declines were due to the end of its 50th anniversary, the closing of the Star Cruiser bull crap,
and wage inflation. No, I believe this closing of Star Cruiser because they spent a shit ton of money on that thing and it was never full. So the Star Cruiser closing isn't probably the problem. The fact that it didn't make any money when it was open was more likely the problem. But then, they closed it down. They only had it open for like a little more than a year.
That's like a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe
whatever it was.
Maybe.
Yeah, a year and a half, I guess, because it closed at the beginning of October. So they only had it open for like a short time. They had to close it down because it was not being booked, and then they had all that expense. So yeah, in that regard, I guess they might have lost money. The end of the 50th anniversary celebrations. No, it's because. Yeah, they had the 50th anniversary celebrations, but now you have the 100th anniversary stuff. People are coming for that more. And the 50th anniversary, I thought it wasn't because of that. I thought it was because of revenge travel.
Revenge travel.
But wage inflation. But it can be all summed up with wage inflation. Disney costs too fucking much, and people can't afford it.
So I'm just sitting there thinking, like, revenge travel. Is that like revenge hookup or revenge? Like, I'll show you.
You're the rebound vacation.
You're the rebound. Yeah, I'm going to Disney. This is a rebound vacation. I'll show you. I was locked in my house for 2 years. I'm going to Disney World. Oh, they should do a commercial like that. Wouldn't that be funny?
They won't because it's not their image.
Hey, Smith family, you've been locked in the house for 2 years, and Timmy Smith missed his graduation, and Daddy Smith, John Smith, he lost his job because his business had to shut down. Where are you going to go? We're going to Disney World.
We're taking our stimmy checks and going.
Checks and going to Disney.
People did.
They did. Yeah, they did.
But yeah, so people went out for revenge travel and all that. But okay, we're going to say they had more people the year before because of the anniversary celebrations. Maybe. Closing the Galactic Star Cruiser, no, that was completely because no one booked it and it was a stupid idea to begin with. But wage inflation, I definitely agree with, and that's because people can't afford it. Everything is expensive. Disney World's ridiculous for pricing.
Yeah. And as far as the Star Cruiser goes, yeah, they probably showed a loss because they had to take the write-off on that.
Yeah, and how much is Star Cruiser again?
Like $1 billion
wage inflation, guys.
Or something, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're going all in on ESPN. They're going to add like betting to it and all this stuff.
Yeah, ESPN bet. But that's not new. We've already known about this. Like another non-announcement. Like, yeah, ESPN bet's going to start soon. But yeah, we know.
This was interesting though, and you pointed this out yesterday. Iger.
Oh yeah, I thought that was funny.
Iger bragged that ESPN was the #1 brand, not #1 account, but #1 brand on TikTok with about 44 million followers. Where is TikTok located again?
Yeah, and who's best friends with them?
With that, yeah, got lots of friends over there.
I can tell you for a fact, if you throw some money at TikTok, it's not hard to get followers.
No, TikTok is, they're, I don't know. They could drop a couple $1 million on advertising and grow. It doesn't mean
they make deals with TikTok like all the time. The TikTok's been hosting Disney content over their special.
Yep.
So Disney already has a good relationship with them. They're already spending a bunch of money. I don't believe ESPN on its own was just happen to hit that #1 brand on TikTok.
So, yeah, we'll talk more about this. It said right now they're striving for growth while cutting costs. Basically, they way overspent on Disney Plus content, and it did not deliver the results they were hoping for. And it seems like every show, it's declining show after show. So bad that
they are saving the streaming service, and they are as good as Netflix.
Yeah,
they said so.
Netflix has never lost $387 million. Netflix just keeps, but. Look, they're talking. They did say that he was going to put quality over quantity. Now it's weird because that's very different from what Chapek was going to do, because they asked him point blank when they were launching Disney Plus. They're like, "Hey, you're spending all this money on content. You're going to put quality over quantity, right, Bob? Right, Bob?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." Sure. We're going to have lots of shows. Lots of shows.
Wait, what?
Don't you remember Bob Chapek?
No, he flat out admitted.
Yeah.
He admitted it. He's like, we're going to do quantity because we found that more stuff you have to offer, the more subscribers you get.
Yeah, and they asked him point blank. I remember.
They did ask him point blank.
They asked him point blank. They're like, well, you're going to focus on...
I didn't know which Bob you meant. That's
no, Chapek. And they're like, you're going to focus on quality too, right? You're not just going to churn stuff. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on quality. Well, here we are. Willow was on 6 months before they punted it for a tax write-off.
Yeah, I mean, like Ahsoka and other Star Wars content is not doing anywhere near Secret Invasion. Look how bad that went. Stuff isn't doing anywhere near what they wanted to do, and then they have the balls sit there and say that we're doing as good as Netflix. And some of our movies, like our movies that didn't do well in the theaters and that did mediocre in the theaters, are what's driving all the subscriptions to Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I'm like, sure.
It could be argued effectively that the lackluster Disney Plus shows have done more to damage Marvel and Star Wars than the movies. And the movies did a lot of damage, but like the shows really watered down the demand for content from both of those. Right?
Not surprising to me, speaking of Disney Plus, that they spent a lot of time talking about the ad-supported tier and how 50% of new subscribers are taking the ad-supported tier because it's way cheaper to get the ads. But they want that because, as I've told you repeatedly, they make a shit ton more money. They even brought up the Spectrum deal in the thing. And I'm telling you, and people get mad at me for this, and I don't fucking care. Yeah, Disney did not get screwed the way everybody thinks they did, because they're going to get a whole bunch of subscribers out of Spectrum on the ad-supported tier. So they're going to get paid from Spectrum for those subscribers, and then they're going to get able to charge get all the ad money from those subscribers, that's why they're trying to force everybody to that tier. They get paid more. They're not going to be upside down in it. I don't know why people
Disney didn't get screwed the way you think they did.
No.
They're not going to be upside down.
They think that
they're
sideways.
Them,
but they're screwing you. That's the Disney difference.
They're a power bottom. That's
Disney difference, guys.
Anyway, so yeah, let's move on to this. So Iger is pushing Disney into a period of fixing to a period of building.
Period of fixing. Okay, when he said that, I was like, "Oh, you fucking kidding?"
Fix what?
No. The reason that things have to be fixed because most of them are Iger's dumbass moves. Most of the reason they need fixed was because Iger overspent on Fox, because Iger decided to implement Genie Plus and it made it confusing for guests and they didn't want to be there.
Yep.
There's like a lot of things that Iger put into place that, Chapek got blamed for, but it was Iger. And there's a lot of fixing that he's done because of Iger's dumbassery. On Chapek, it turns out, if that article is true, Iger knew Chapek needed help and he was deliberately not giving him help because, his ego. So I'm like, what? You're fixing your own problems there. You caused the issues.
All right.
We're fixing. Yeah, you're fixing your own damn mess.
I made the disease and I'm selling you the cure.
Basically. And then look, guys, give me more. You could give me your support.
Yay. So this is coming from WDW News Today, talking about turbocharging the growth.
Yeah, you love that turbocharge.
Turbo. They're going turbo. That's going to be the thumbnail.
They're going turbo.
They're going turbo. So this is what he said. He said, our results this quarter reflect the significant progress we've made over the past year.
Where?
While we still have work to do, look at your box office there, Bob. These efforts have allowed us to move beyond this period of fixing and begin building our businesses again. We have a solid foundation of creative excellence and innovation built over the past century.
That he's destroying.
He's destroyed, which has only been reinforced by the important restructuring and cost efficiency work we've done this year. And we're on track to achieve roughly $7.5 billion in cost reductions.
Yeah, they actually put about $2 more billion in cost reductions in there.
Combined with our portfolio of valuable businesses, brands, and assets.
Oh my God! Take a shot every time they say that. I mean, it's like, or no, take $5, put it in an envelope every time they make this. Our portfolio of valuable businesses, brands, and assets. You'd have a lot of money, like not long, because he's always saying this shit.
He's basically making a sales pitch to the investors to be like, look, don't cancel me, bro.
The investors have less $5 in their wallet from your stupid shit that your company keeps losing stock. Yeah, it's up to 90, but that's sad because it should have been well over $100. And you guys keep losing the money, but your portfolio, well, my valuable portfolio lost a lot of money, Bob.
Well, here's what's going on then. So, they're talking they're going to turbocharge their growth in the parks. They're also going to build out ESPN, improve the output and economics of our film studios. That basically means we're going to make better movies cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Well, better's up for debate.
But yeah, we've already made considerable advancements in these 4 areas, and we'll continue to move forward with a sense of purpose and urgency. Purpose and urgency.
I go to the bathroom with a sense of purpose and urgency, but the result's still the same.
So they have all these blue sky projects sort of that they kind of sort of announced. Maybe possibly. Now look at Epcot, look at the state of Epcot, and look at what was promised for Epcot. And a lot of that they walked back, including that big pavilion. And
well, they are opening the World Celebration area here soon. They're putting a bunch of trees and stuff in there. I think it's supposed to be opening, next month in December. They kept saying, what's beyond, Big Thunder Mountain? And then we never heard anything really. Just like, maybe we're working on stuff, guys, on us. It's going to be cool. And then
parking
and
lot.
then when you hear announcements, it's like, hey guys, it's like meet and greets. We're gonna get more meet and greets, and you know what? We're gonna open those attractions we've been working on forever, and we're gonna also, do like a little like theming to a new restaurant that you can pay more money. We're gonna retheme a ride like Country Bears. We're just gonna give it an overhaul with IP songs. That's their big announcement of what they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is even cheaper than what was originally talked about.
It all is cheaper.
Well, what was originally talked about, from what I remember, and I think it was WDW News Today, they said that they were going to turn it into like a Woody's Toy Story.
Well, and then they were saying like, okay, people were thinking we're going to get some announcement of like, Zootopia or something. To Animal Kingdom. And it's like, guess what, guys? We're getting a Zootopia Tree of Life projection show.
Yeah, but easy stuff.
It's all
cheap
reskins
stuff.
or something simple and inexpensive.
Yeah,
we're going to spend lots of money in turbocharge, guys.
We're going to turbocharge. We're going to add the Hatbox Ghost. It's already been done. The water thing, is that like, I mean, to me, that's not even an attraction. That's just like decoration. It's like a queue.
Oh, look, more meet and greets.
Oh, look, everybody, you love Figment? Yeah, let's bring him back as a walk-around costume. Let's not actually put any effort into...
And the costume was like crap, and then the guy kept falling on his face. They're going to reimagine Test Track. The World of Motion thing actually is pretty cool. That actually made me kind of happy.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
But again, it's a reskin.
It's a reskin. It's not like we're building a new
fireworks show, Symphony of Us, Luminous, Whoopie Ding Dong.
Oh, cool. Soaring over California. Okay. I like
projection show, the Tree of Life. Oh, and then they're eventually going to do this. They did give this one thing, Blue Sky, for going to be making it into Encanto and Indiana Jones.
Which makes 0 sense.
Well, Indiana Jones makes total sense because Dinosaur is Indiana Jones in Disneyland. So it's just a reskin, everybody.
Yeah. And I love Dinosaur. I actually want to keep it as Dinosaur.
I'm like, most of this stuff is like, it's very... If you look at the core of what they are, it's mostly reskins.
Yeah.
It's inexpensive. And they're trying to be like, look, we're doing all this stuff. But you're not.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Ahsoka Tano's going to be in Star Tours. Again, that's a digital thing to add to it. It's not anything important or special or extreme in any way.
Yeah, so compare that to Universal that's building Epic Universe, which is completely new, and they're spending a ton of money on it. I mean, this is all stuff that's being done on the cheap. Now, Disney could surprise us, and they might turn around and be like, you know what? We got to open a 5th gate. We got to do another park.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that anytime soon.
I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. I don't even know where they put it. People said before they don't even know if they actually have the room for a 5th gate because of the way that, all the infrastructure and everything you need.
I don't know. I know that overseas parks were actually bringing it because they're actually doing new stuff at overseas parks.
Yeah.
And then the cruise lines are going to have new boats. Well, they said 3. I was surprised. 2 I can see because they had the one that they acquired from the other place, then the other ones that was pretty far along in construction. But I was surprised they said they're going to try to get 3 out. But they're going to have this new Lighthouse Point, and they're having a new K, Lookout K, Lighthouse Point, and it's going to be in the Bahamas. And they're going to start. I know they're going to start running the one boat out of Singapore here soon. And stuff like that. So those things, they are bringing it for that stuff. So, I mean, I don't know what they're turbocharging. Most of the stuff in the investor call was just a rehash of stuff we already knew. But they're trying to razzle dazzle it. Iger sounded like he was on something. He was just like, I was like, I'm bored. I had a hard time just focusing on what was going on because I was so damn bored.
Yeah, I completely checked out. I mean, it was at least Chapek and Cruella de Vil were entertaining.
McCarthy?
They were entertaining, McCarthy.
Sometimes that one call before he got fired, it was like, what? what he was saying, we're like, holy shit, he just called it like it is.
Oh, yeah,
And then
yeah.
he got fired.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what to say, guys. We're bleeding out money.
It sucks, you know?
Whoa, that
These,
sucks.
macroeconomic headwinds and circumstances, and then fired.
We missed.
Anyway, we missed.
We missed.
Ah, that's great. We missed.
Yeah, we missed.
We missed.
It's on the ceiling, on the floor. It's all over the place. All right.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.